Sex and the City 3 is not happening, but you know what is happening? A whole bunch of beef between Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker of Sex and the City. So it all starts with a very, very sad story. Kim Cattrall's 55-year-old brother was found dead, and in the wake of this, Sarah Jessica Parker sent Kim some flowers and wrote the following: "Dearest Kim, my loving condolences to you and yours, and Godspeed to your beloved brother, XX." The response from Kim Cattrall on Instagram was, "I don't need your love or support at this tragic time." And then in the description of that one slide, of that statement on Instagram, it said, "My mom asked me today, when will that Sarah Jessica Parker, that hypocrite, leave you alone? Your continuous reaching out is a painful reminder of how cruel you really were then and now. Let me make this very clear if I haven't already. You are not my family. You are not my friend. So I'm writing to tell you one last time to stop exploiting our tragedy in order to restore your, quote, nice girl persona." Copy and paste, and then a link to a New York Post article that we'll get into that was essentially titled something like "How the Mean Girls Culture Ruined Behind the Scenes of Sex and the City." So a lot to get into, but first, thoughts, 5 words or less.
Please, your memoirs, Kim, now.
Mean Girls in real life.
Not sipping Cosmos over this.
This is Sex and the City 3. I don't need a movie now.
Right.
This is enough.
There's like death and fights and vitriol.
Yeah.
So where do you start? Whose side are you on first? Or did you not find yourself picking sides?
I for sure picked a side.
You did?
It was the side of what's her face? Davis. Kristen Davis, who plays Charlotte. No. I'm loving all this juicy tea. It's like yummy, delicious. Because for years there have been rumors about drama behind the scenes because Charlotte, Miranda, Carrie, and Samantha were the best of friends, almost disgustingly so. Like they're too close, they're too tight. And then so you didn't want to believe it because it would fizzle the brand. You were like, no, this can't be true. We love Sex and the City. So when you have someone like Kim Cattrall, who was a star before Sex and the City, and then SJP comes up, becomes executive producer, becomes a breakout star, and then, yeah, you kind of feel some type of way. Obviously, she had a reason to put that, to say that on her Instagram post, because no person in their right mind is gonna be like, screw you, Daron, when you're trying to be compassionate.
Right, if
in
you
a
are
time,
friends,
right,
yeah.
if you're friends. So, and then when your mom chimes in, that's when you know, those are the receipts. That's when you know it's deep.
Yeah.
Those Cosmos are not spilling.
Ladies.
So are you on Kim Cattrall's side?
Yes.
Okay.
Team Kim, Team Samantha.
I don't know, man.
It was hard. Well, one, I had never watched it, so
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
What?
Shame on
yeah,
you.
I never watched it, so I
It's
don't.
good to hear that
Yeah,
voice.
so it's hard for me to understand exactly like what the show was like, but just reading kind
So
of what
good.
happened behind the scenes and how like two of them are really close friends, and then SJP became like executive. Yeah, it essentially, and then that kind of like ostracized Kim Cattrall. I was like, that's kind of relatable.
Yeah.
Like as I mean, I guess as a high schooler, you can totally imagine being in a group of friends and like a few of them become closer, then they start liking one more than you, even though you were there first, and you get kind of pushed out of the group. I can totally imagine that happening. Maybe not in women who are above the age of like 30, but I mean, it can happen.
It does
women
happen
are women.
for sure.
Yeah.
People do that. Like, because it shouldn't happen after 6th grade, because you don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know better. But it happens in the workplace. It absolutely happens. And when if there's 4 of you and you find yourself renting a house and only inviting 2 other girls and things like that, I think if you want to be like the best adult possible, like you check yourself, and you may not even click with her the best, but you don't want to be that person, and so you reach out and you do this. And I can't imagine if one person felt totally isolated, and if that is her truth, that no one else noticed it.
Well, apparently the New York Times, the New York Post had a lot to say.
Yeah, the New York Post does a really good job of breaking down the timeline of it all. From there was according to one friend of Kim's, there was a disparity between what Sarah got and what the other girls got to do one of the Sex and the City films. Everyone loved Kim's character, people related to her, and Kim's salary wasn't showing that. And so what the Kim Cattrall side kind of says is, Kim sometimes held out for more money.
As she should have.
As everybody does. And the question is, was she being a diva about it? Or was this a PR stunt on behalf of Daron Star Productions, HBO Films, Sarah Jessica Parker, to get out of having to pay Samantha all the money for showing up on the show by shaming her and making her seem like a diva?
Well, Daron Star was Kim Cattrall's friend.
Guy.
Daron Star left the show and Michael Patrick King came in, who was friends with SJP.
Right.
So you had this power struggle.
It's like Game of Thrones.
Right.
Jason with the facts.
No,
I love it.
and if you watch the show from its inception till its finale, Samantha's character had meaty storylines, had the best one-liners. She had her chemistry. She was that pillar figure that could have great chemistry with all the characters within the show. So yes, holding out for more money on a franchise that's making billions for Time Warner.
And by the end, Samantha has cancer.
Right.
And lives on the other side of the country where all the girls are like together in New York and like Miranda's in Brooklyn and that's so far away. No, they sent Kim way the hell across country. So even geographically with the characters, it was messed up.
Sarah Jessica Parker is absolutely the star, but there's that, and then the fact that you cannot do the show or movie with missing one of the four.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah, she's the star, but that's a great argument. You can't do it without me, so maybe they should be paid the same. Even though one is the star, if you cannot do it without one of the not stars, then
But no,
I mean,
here's the reality, you guys. First of all, like, they're pushing 60. I'm sorry.
She
I
is
don't want
60.
Yeah,
Samantha,
right. Like
Kim Cattrall,
61, right?
61. Yeah.
How long can you go on with this? Hey, we're going to the club. You know, it's just. And I mean, look, women. I'm not saying that women can have a good time. I'm saying the what we've come to know them as being these characters. They've evolved. Just like on Grace and Amir, they went from interns to now they're doctors. You know what I'm saying? Like there comes a time when that narrative isn't cute anymore.
Yeah.
They have changed it up.
Yeah.
The Sex and the City 2
They went to
movie,
Dubai.
They went to Dubai and there was like one's getting away from motherhood and the other one is like trying to figure out like how she feels about being married to Big and all that.
Allegedly, the third script was supposed to be this joyous conclusion to like their saga. And you know, if as actor you don't believe in what you're doing, the content, the creative of what you're doing, you're not gonna subscribe and really give your heart to it.
I think that Kim Cattrall is in a very difficult position because her brother just died.
Okay.
And these flowers came. I don't know what position Sarah Jessica Parker was in. She's either going to get in trouble for sending flowers or not sending flowers.
Yeah,
Right?
that's a
if you
tough
know
gotta
that you've
do it.
antagonized someone, you leave them alone.
Yeah.
On their
Right.
wedding, on their birthday, you leave them alone.
And
Like if
Yeah,
your
they're not waiting for
ex-boyfriend
your card.
who
They're not
cheated on
waiting
you
for
does
your-
not need to tell you happy birthday a year later. Like leave me alone.
He
Like,
probably
you know what I mean?
will, but you don't
If
need
you
it.
think
Like,
that
for
you
Kim
haven't been great to somebody.
For Kim Cattrall, this is like her nemesis toxic relationship of her life.
Yeah.
And so in the most trying times, I could see it grating on her. We will end it with this quote. She said, "This is what my 60s are about. They're about me making decisions for me, not my career, for me, and that feels frickin' fantastic."
Preach, Kim.